Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I am here today with Timothy. Timothy, welcome, and thanks for hanging out with me today. Um, First of
Great, I
all,
appreciate it.
obviously we have you on here because you are a paid trader with Apex Trader Funding. And so I wanted to kind of get a little background from you and kind of hear a little bit about your story. Now, you've been actually trading with Apex for a little while, right?
That's correct. About 2 years now.
Okay.
Maybe maybe approaching three, honestly.
Okay. I think they just hit the 2 year anniversary in September, so maybe 2.5. Probably
Maybe
on the
maybe
high
two
side.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, great. Now, obviously, you've been trading a little bit longer than that. How long have you been trading now?
Um Actual stock market trading, I've been trading for 3 years now.
Okay.
Started off with just buying and holding stocks.
Hmm.
Went to options, dealt with the options world for a minute, and then I was introduced to futures,
Right.
and here we are.
There you go. I hear that progression all the time. It starts with stocks, then you want leverage, so you go to options. Hate the Greeks, go to futures. We hear the
Yeah.
same story over and over and over again. So, how did you actually get introduced to futures?
Well, there's a podcast during the pandemic. There was a podcast of these two guys who call Earn Your Leisure, and they actually start to bring on people who would introduce different avenues to make money. Of course, pandemic, everybody's trying to make money. Um, they brought on this other guy who was uh, teaching about the
Okay.
futures market, and I end up getting into one of the what you call it, like a contest
Okay.
to get to the group for free.
Oh, nice.
So I was introduced from there. Um, in my options days, I met a couple of people who we stayed together for a while, but then people branched off, and it was just me and my guy. His name is Lou. We call him Next Trade Lou, and we stuck in there together. We both was very interested in this futures market. Um, we end up going with a different funding partner, and we end up meeting our previous mentor, our ex mentor, and it just took it to a whole different level.
Gotcha. Gotcha. How important would you say is having a mentor in something like trading?
Having a mentor is very important. It's very important. But you also want to make sure that the person that's mentoring you is, I would say, 100% in what they do.
Hmm.
Um, you want them to teach you the good, the bad,
Right.
and the ugly, and keep everything up front.
Sure.
You want them to be transparent in every aspect of trading.
Hmm.
You don't want somebody to show you one thing and then it be in the background doing something else.
Right.
So that's definitely something you want to make sure you look out for. Is full transparency.
Sure. I think that sort of guidance. Now, of course, some people can just watch a bunch of YouTube videos and pick it up, and that's fantastic. I think most people, we just kind of need a little bit of guidance, and having somebody that we can bat ideas, across. I think it's just such a valuable component, I think, to the process. So I love hearing that. Now, as you've moved forward, now obviously you said you've been working with Apex for a couple years plus now. How did you actually hear about Apex?
Through my mentor,
Okay.
actually,
He
he
brought you through.
he introduced us to the Apex family because we was previously. I don't know if I can say the name.
Don't
Uh,
worry about the names. We know that there's a bunch of other
okay,
guys out there. Some are still around,
yeah.
some not. Yeah.
So it's a funny story. I always tell the story. With my trading partner, I say, "Hey man, listen, I had $7,000, right? I said I'm going to put it in the futures. Now at this time, I don't know anything. I'm just
Right.
thinking like, okay, I know that I can make money with this.
Right.
Put $7,000 of my own money into futures, and in 3 days, 4 days tops, it was. I think I probably still got about $50 in my account.
Gotcha.
Never seen the green side.
Right.
It was just downhill from there. And he was like, before I did it, he said, "Hey man, listen, come over here to this funding partner, man. You don't have to use your own money." And I just completely ignored it. And then, of course, I came back crying like a sad puppy. Like, hey man, what's the name of that company again? I lost all my money. So then we got to meet. We started with that funding partner, and then we met our mentor in that group, and he introduced us to Apex.
Right.
So here we are.
So you refrained from using a funding company because were you skeptical? Did you just not really understand how they
Just
work, or just thought,
so at that time, I was really operating out of greed.
gotcha?
Really operating out of greed. I didn't. I was definitely was skeptical, but I'm like, okay, well, if I trade with more money, I can make more money.
Right. Ultimately,
You
more
know,
contracts, more money.
there you go.
So, as you've taken this road and you've spent the last couple of years getting to a point where you're now consistently getting paid out as a funded trader with Apex, what do you think was the biggest turning point for you that took you from student and on the journey to actually making money on a consistent basis?
So for me, it was. I know this may sound crazy, but a lot of stuff that I learned from my mentor, I had to forget.
Okay,
A lot of the fundamental stuff still sticks with me,
sure.
but the trading style, I had to forget. I had to go out and
Right.
find my own way with something that actually works,
Mm-hmm.
and something that wasn't too strenuous on the mental capital.
Right.
Mental capital is very important, and I don't want to be I didn't want to be the type of trader who took 1,000 trades a day.
Sure.
I felt like that was too much exposure to the market. So what I did was I had to fall back and revamp myself
Mm-hmm.
and come up with a strategy to where I will only take maybe one or two trades a day
Gotcha.
and still hit my daily goal.
Mm-hmm.
Still felt comfortable with holding trades, and actually knowing the market structure, knowing where the market possibly can go.
Right.
So once I found that out, it took a while. It took a lot of money, a lot of tuition
Sure.
being paid. Um, and I just told myself, I said, hey man, listen, this is not a game.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that you can't play with because it could be the most lucrative business or lucrative opportunity that any regular person can have. So take it serious, put the work in, and go execute.
There you go. Looking back, if you're talking to a new trader, they feel like they've got their strategy down. They're looking to get their first evaluation with Apex or whatever. What's the biggest piece of advice you give somebody at that point in their journey to kind of help them along?
Stay disciplined, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stay disciplined. Um, I won't even say stay disciplined. Build discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Build consistency. Form good habits.
Right.
Also, surround yourself with like-minded people who actually want to see you win.
There you go.
Some people can do it by themselves. Me personally, I needed to bounce ideas off of different people. I need to know what are your sentiments on this? What are your sentiments on that? That way I can gauge and come together with my own theory
Mm-hmm.
and start executing. There's a ton of information out there on YouTube for free. Um, just stay consistent. Stay consistent and make sure your risk is intact.
Right.
You have to make sure your risk is intact. You don't want to be going for small targets, but you risking half of your account for 8 ticks.
There's a reason I'm laughing at that because I have been there for sure. And
Yeah,
in fact, it's funny you mentioned having to unlearn what you had learned previously. In fact, it was really funny. I just did a video. It was either yesterday or the day before, which literally was I'm having to unlearn old stuff that was taught to me by previous mentors through previous experiences, and I'm having to push all of that away so that I can open space for just really recreating and rebuilding what it is that I'm looking for moving forward. So I get
yeah,
it, man. It sounds I think it parallels what a lot of other traders are experiencing, and that's one of the beauties of being able to do these interviews is a lot of times we'll find ourselves at similar points on the journey, and it's good to know that where I am now someone else has been, and where you are now somewhere that somebody wants to be in short order. So I really appreciate you taking some time and hanging out with me today. This has been a lot of fun and definitely insightful. One of the things that I like to do is catch up a few months after this first interview and just kind of see where things are going and see how things are coming along. After a little bit of time, you up for catching up here in a few months?
Absolutely,
Awesome,
absolutely.
awesome.
I'm here, man. I'm here until the wheels fall off. So,
I love it.
you know,
I love it. Well, man, keep doing what you're doing, and let's keep in touch, and we'll catch up in a few months and see where everything's going from there.
absolutely,
All right,
absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
my pleasure. Thank you. We'll chat with you soon.
All right. Bye bye.